Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have the February monthly awareness polish box. If you're not aware of the monthly awareness polish box, every month 6 lovely makers get together and choose an awareness or charity that they'd like to donate 10% of the proceeds of each box towards. This month it is going towards Iris, which is Infants Remembered in Silence. So every box that's sold or every polish, you don't have to buy the whole box, you can buy them individually. 10% of the sales will be donated to Iris. I did purchase this box with a blogger's discount, and I will list all of the makers down below as well as Iris and any social media that applies. The full box set of 6 polishes will retail for $52 plus shipping. You can buy 4 for $40 or get them for $11 individually. So I'll go ahead and get into this swatch and review. First up is Forever Mine by All Mixed Up Lacquer, and this is described as a bright to medium pink with rose metallic glitter, neon pink and blue holographic glitter of different sizes, ultra chrome flakies, and a rainbow flakies. So this is acrylic polish. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Forever Mine swatched on my natural nail. So first things first, this brush is amazing. If you love a wide brush, you're really going to love All Mixed Up Lacquers. This went on nice and smoothly. It is sheer. It's got that curly base. I'm going to have to build it up with another coat, but one coat gave pretty good coverage. It is showing up a blindingly neon on my camera. It's not quite that bright. It is a nice bright pink. So here is the second coat. This polish just goes on so easily. 2 coats, it did bring this one completely opaque for me. So here's a look at the completed mani before top coat. This one does dry down fairly glossy. Some of those larger glitters stick up just a tiny bit. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. Again, super bright here. And once more at an angle under artificial lighting. This one's a little bit more true to color. So next up is Forever in My Heart by Night Owl Lacquer, and this is described as a turquoise polish with shimmer and taupe and brown flakies. There is an image that each of the makers pulled their inspiration from. I'll go ahead and link that in my blog because this may not seem like a SIDS or infant awareness polish, but it definitely is. It's spot on for the turquoise in that image. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Forever in My Heart swatched on my natural nail. So here is one easy coat. Those flakes are nice and on the small side, so you don't have to worry about positioning them at all. This does have a nice amount of shiver in it. At one coat, it's not quite opaque. I'm going to come back in for a thicker second coat. And this does build it up nicely and adds a ton more of those flakes. I really love the interest that those flakes add to this polish. This one is a tiny bit brush strokey, so you just want to be mindful when you paint that you make nice long brush strokes. At 2 coats, it's just shy of being opaque, so I'll come back in for a third and final coat. And this third coat for sure brings this one completely opaque. You do want a nice glossy top coat with this one. It dries kind of matte. It does look great matte, but adding a glossy top coat and then another matte top coat on top of that will extend the wear so much. So here's a look at the completed mani before top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So next up is Unconditional by Poshlish, and I feel that this one may be the star of the show. I hate to even say that in a box towards a cause, but this one is just amazing. All of the makers really poured their heart into their polishes. But thermals just really have a special place for me, and I absolutely love the small micro flakes that are in this one. It's that green kind of iridescent shimmer. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Unconditional swatched on my natural nail. Again, this does have a larger brush, which I definitely appreciate. One coat went on, I thought it was streaky, but I actually think it was changing towards my nail bed where it was turning that more pink color. So one coat does look a little bit streaky. I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. You can already see here how extremely volatile that thermal element in this polish is. It's very sensitive. This second coat does build it up beautifully. I do go on and show you what a third coat looks like, but I absolutely prefer this polish at 2 coats. So I'll let this dry and then come back in and go ahead and show you what 3 coats looks like and then show you the comparison. So here is my third and final coat. I really loved applying this polish and just watching it change on the nail. Top coat's really fun too. When you apply it, it cools off the warm parts. So 3 coats for sure brings this one completely opaque. You do get a ton of those flakies and a very strong shift. Now here is the comparison. My topmost nail has 2 coats and my bottommost nail has 3 coats. So at 2 coats you get a little bit more of the pink vibe as opposed to a more purple vibe when it gets a little bit thicker. Here is a look at the completed mani before top coat. This one definitely dries down matte. So I'll show you really quickly the thermal properties. To the cup in my left is cold water and to the cup on the right is warm water. I actually had a problem getting this to stay in the complete warm shot, especially for like my angled photo, because it shifted so quickly where the water droplets are. It got a little bit colder. I'm going to blow on the water droplets here. You can see how very intense that change is. Next, I'll go ahead and drip it in the cold water. Well, first I'm going to drip it in the hot water and get it back to the hot to show you how quickly it shifts. So here's the dip into the cold water, very intense, super pretty both ways. And then I'll show you the dual dip. So this is my swatch photo under artificial lighting just at the natural shift. Here it is once more at an angle. Next up is Love You Always from Pretty Beautiful Unlimited, and this is described as a light purple crowley with blue to pink to gold shifting shimmer and a rainbow of different glitters in different sizes and shapes. So this is a very fun mix. You get that yellow in there, the blues, the pinks, touch of green maybe, plus all the shimmer. So here's a look at the brush shot, and I'll show you how Love You Always swatched on my natural nail. So here is one easy coat. This one goes on very nice. I didn't have to fish for any of the glitters. I didn't really have to be careful when applying them either. They stayed nice and where they were supposed to. This is acrylic, so it's one that you're going to have to build up a little bit. I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. So here is the second coat, and this is a very well done acrylic. It builds up perfectly in 2 coats. I didn't have to fight it or fuss with it at all. And it is definitely a pale purple. You can tell it doesn't look like a white or off-white. You can tell it's definitely a light purple. So this is a look at the completed mani before top coat. This one will need a nice glossy top coat to help smooth it out a little bit, but no issues at all. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting with top coat, and once more at an angle under artificial lighting. Next up is Mom of an Angel, and this is by Sassy Pants Polish. It's described as a vibrant purple polish with hot pink flakies and neon purple micro flakies. So it does have those larger shreds in there, as well as some shimmer. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Mom of an Angel swatched on my natural nail. So here is one easy coat. This one again has a little bit of a jelly base to it, so it's one that you're going to want to build up a little bit. I did have to double dip here, but it applied very smoothly and easily. Those shreds really lay down flat. They're not going to poke up too much or anything like that. So one coat is a little bit streaky. I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. Here is the second coat. I really love how those metallic purple shreds look layered underneath the purple jelly acrylic. It's really in between a jelly and acrylic. It's got some creamy aspects to it. 2 coats does build this one up really nicely. I think this is going to look awesome matte. It does have those large flakes in it. This is a look at the completed mani without top coat. This one does dry down fairly glossy, and those flakes don't add too much texture or anything like that. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So lastly, today I have Sending My Love to Heaven, and this is by Lifestyle Lacquer. This is described as an indigo shade with a violet shimmer and pink to blue to gold ultra chrome flakies. So this is right in the middle of being a blue and a purple. I feel like it has more of a blue base and then more of a purple shimmer. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Sending My Love to Heaven swatched on my natural nail. So here is one easy coat. This one went on very smoothly. It wasn't too thick or thin. I had no pulling. It did just a fabulous job. You do get a nice mix of those ultra chrome flakies as well as that shimmer. One coat is sheer, so I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. I am going to go in for a bit of a thicker second coat here. And this one just builds up beautifully. That purple shimmer is just gorgeous. I feel like this is right on the edge of being a 2 or 3 coater. I think it's really going to depend on your application. 2 coats did bring it opaque for me, so here's a look at the completed mani before top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So that wraps up this month's swatch of the monthly awareness polish box. I think this box is going to mean a lot to a lot of different people. I'm very honored to be a part of sharing this with you guys. If you're interested in a giveaway, it is currently running on the Instagram page. I'll try to do a direct link down below. If you'd like to see more photos, I do have those available on my blog at sloppyswatches.wordpress.com. These polishes are available right now all the way through February 4th. If you'd like, you can also follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.